There's genuinely something about Batman and Wonder Woman that I absolutely love. I absolutely love Wonder Woman, what she stands for the most part in, the normal continuity of, what Wonder Woman is. And I absolutely love the dynamic that they build. One's a normal guy with, let's be honest, a lot of issues, and the other is a princess of a society of immortal warriors. And I honestly feel like they make for the absolute perfect couple. I know it's a little weird and out of the ordinary, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, Batman and someone else, well, that's so much better. But in my opinion, Batman and Diana are perfect for each other, and I got proof. Well, sort of. And I can tell you exactly why. Because there was this episode, an absolute peak episode from Justice League Unlimited titled This Little Piggy. Yeah, you heard that right. That's the title. And why is this proof that they are perfect for each other? Oh, you just freaking wait. The episode starts with Wonder Woman and Batman on a rooftop, doing a stakeout of some sort, and they begin talking about not only the mission, but Diana starts talking about being down there with the other romantic couples, dancing, having a good time, having a good nightlife, all of the above, asking if Bruce ever wishes to be down there as well. But of course, he gives some broody answer, leading to him basically saying like, you know what, I'm down there as much as, I'm down there basically too much, or he's down there all the time. But of course, we all know this is all for the mission. This is all for work or, vigilante business. But Diana wants to know if he ever wants to be down there with someone, he actually likes, someone he actually is fond of, and, be down there as a couple. And of course, he's like, obviously giving the whole, we can't be dating, blah, 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 all that BS, saying that she's an immortal warrior and he's a rich kid with issues, lots of issues. And that is true, but there is something he brings up, and he also brings up the fact that the villains that come after him will also come after his loved ones. But we all know that this is kind of a cop-out answer because, well, she breaks a stone statue of some sort on top of the building they are on, basically saying that she isn't some damsel in distress like these other possible women. No. She is freaking Wonder Woman, a absolute goddess that can hands down handle her own in a fight in some of the craziest situations you could possibly known to man, and she can handle anything that these villains would throw at her. So the idea of, well, his villains getting to him through her just won't happen. But of course, we all know she is, for the most part, right. Yes, his villains may go after her, but it wouldn't be that easy by any stretch of the imagination. But before she can basically catch him in some sort of, excuse or horrible excuses, the alarms blare and we actually jump in and they basically leap into action to take on whatever this burglar is or whatever this burglar is doing. But it turns out that this burglar isn't your typical burglar. It turns out that this person is Cersei, a goddess in her own right and a very, very high-level sorceress that has a tendency of turning things and people into animals. And, well, Cersei didn't promise to keep her hands off of Diana, so she does the absolute unthinkable. She turns her into a pig. Yes, in 2004, we got a different version, and probably the original version, of Would You Still Love Me If I Was a Worm? Just this time, it has Wonder Woman turning into a pig. And I always found this absolutely hilarious. Obviously, I was only like 2 years old in 2004 when this was coming out, but when I did watch it when I was a little bit older, I always found it to be hilarious that she turned into a freaking pig of all the animals. A freaking pig. I found this to be hilarious because she is literally like the daughter of Zeus, or basically this this goddess of a warrior. So at the end of the day, turning her into a literal pig, I always found to be absolutely hilarious. But this situation would lead Bruce to taking Diana, or I guess you can kind of call her Wonder Pig, to Zatanna, another absolute freaking baddie that I'm not gonna lie to you, I had a crush on for like 15 years of my life. Okay, maybe more like my entire life, but that's kind of beyond the point. But yes, Zatanna is insanely good sorceress, but it seems like she can't necessarily do anything, because Bruce brought Diana here to see if she could actually turn her back, but nothing works at all. He actually even starts petting the pig for a little bit and stuff like that, and honestly, it's pretty damn adorable to see how much Bruce, or the Batman, actually cares about Diana, but also cares about the pig version of Diana. I think it's hilarious. But after many attempts to save Diana, Zatanna basically and Bruce argue actually a little bit about the relationship between Diana and Bruce, because she asks, what kind of relationship do they really have? And Bruce is like, oh, we're just really good friends. And she's like, no, because they're good friends. Zatanna and Bruce, they're good friends. Like, both of them are good friends. No, it's obvious that they're far more than just good friends. Him and Diana are completely different than just the good friends. And honestly, this leads to Bruce admitting as such as well, admitting that maybe there was something else, something bigger, something more. But the reality of this entire episode is that the only person that can help Diana is the one who did this to her in the very first place. So after some struggle, they finally find her, and after Zatanna would throw a ton of furniture and even a piano at Cersei, it would lead to a bit of a battle of many humans being changed into animals fighting Batman and Zatanna. We then also have a kind of a funny scene where we have Diana, as you know, her piggy life, running from a bunch of butchers. But after all of that, after everything that's occurring, after the piggy runs away from the butcher, and also Batman and Zatanna fight a bunch of animals, we get concrete proof of why they are so perfect for each other when Bruce asks what he must sacrifice for Cersei to truly lift the spell off of Diana. And this price is something you couldn't even possibly imagine. Cersei wants something that is very precious, something he worked so hard to conceal, and something, when gone, he can never regain. Something that is borderline soul-shattering. And when you hear this, and you hear all of these things that are being talked about, these examples that are being used, you wonder, what can he possibly give up that is soul-shattering? What can he possibly give up that would be to the degree of what she is insinuating? What can he possibly give up that is genuinely soul-shattering? And bro, we get Batman freaking singing. Yes, singing. And it is absolute freaking peak. And who is it for? The Princess of Immortal Warriors, Wonder Woman. The one and only. The whole reason why he stands up on that stage and he sings his absolute heart out. He sings in a tone that many would cry over. And they do cry over. He sings his absolute heart out because one thing can be assured, that the safety of Diana and the spell leaving Diana, becoming, well, the normal Wonder Woman once again, will be a guarantee. The spell leaving Diana will be a guarantee as long as he gives up something so precious as his vocals, as his basically beautiful singing voice. And oh my goodness, I assure you that Batman's vocals were obviously enough to lift that spell off of Diana. And obviously Cersei was out here crying over the fact that the Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, was probably the most glorious singer that she has ever heard in her goddess life. Truly, years and years of listening wouldn't even lead up to something like this, because this right here, Bruce is a different freaking breed. And he gave up his vocals, his secret of being an amazing singer, for the safety of the one and only Diana. And this leads, eventually to obviously Diana being cured entirely. Diana's no longer a pig, which is an absolute W, which she obviously just sets free a ton of these pigs as they run rampant and run wild, which another scene that is absolutely hilarious. But this leads to a conversation, a pretty funny one in the Watchtower, and one that definitely makes you simp for Diana even more, and really makes everything about the whole Batman Wonder Woman ship and the Batman Wonder Woman relationship even more amazing, because you listen to Diana and she basically tells him that most of what happened was a blur, and asks if anything important happened, anything really at all. And he says that the only important thing that happened is that she's safe. And of course, that's very cute. That's awesome. That's very adorable, Batman. We all know that that's not the only important thing that happened, because she would even disagree. She would basically say that she disagrees. And as she says this, she does the most cute, adorable, whatever you want to call it, thing ever. I mean, it's like a power play in itself, because she says that she disagrees that was the only important thing, because she begins walking off with her arms cutely behind her back, humming Am I Blue, the same song that Bruce just majestically sang to save her life. And genuinely, watching this episode all over again made me realize why I am so in love with the relationship between Batman and Wonder Woman. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some amazing relationships with the broody, with the, very dark and, kind of serious Batman. But honestly, Wonder Woman and Batman, I've always thought of them as the perfect power couple. Now, does someone like Catwoman maybe fit the mold a little bit better for the lifestyle of someone like Batman? Maybe. But I absolutely love the idea of a super powered goddess that is the basically leader of immortal warriors being right next to a rich kid with a bunch of issues that fights crime in a freaking bat suit. I absolutely love them together, and this episode, the episode from Justice League Unlimited known as This Little Piggy, is undeniable proof that they really are perfect for each other. The Warrior and the Batman are truly perfect for each other. As different as they are, they do have a lot of similarities. And sometimes those differences in, the way you fight, the way you're a hero, if you're a villain, if you're a hero, and so on and so forth, just because you're different don't mean that you can't work and be perfect for each other at the end of the day. And if you can watch this episode without getting a little smiley, and frankly without loving Bruce and Diana as a pair, you might be mildly insane. Genuinely, you might be mildly insane. But truly, this episode, when I watched it in the past and rewatching it now, it was the reason why I was absolutely convinced, and really am absolutely convinced, that Batman and Wonder Woman were hands down perfect for each other. I love it. I still love it. And I absolutely ship it to the day I die. But of course, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Do you love the Batman and Wonder Woman kind of relationship, coupling, aka the kind of ship of Batman and Wonder Woman? Is there a kind of relationship or a coupling that you believe is better than Batman and Wonder Woman? Do you believe it's Batman and Catwoman? Do you believe it's someone else? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Maybe I'll do a video on another piece of content, quote unquote. Maybe like another video on something Justice League Unlimited involved, or something like that. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. Leave me suggestions as well of what you would like to see me talk about next. All that good stuff. If it's a comic, like an actual comic,
this
if
idea
it's a TV show,
about Batman
if it's an
becoming
animated
the
TV show,
number one hero
anything
in My
along
Hero
those
Academia.
lines. With
But
that said, though,
hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Please,
as always,
leave a like,
leave a
leave a comment down
comment
below with any
all
suggestions
that good
you'd like
stuff.
to see.
And if you enjoyed this video,
YouTube believes you'll enjoy this one, so might as well go check it out.